Currently, it's February in the year 2022, and today I'm going to be doing a plant tour. Starting with a general pan of the area, here's the front doorway. And there's a sign hidden behind the jungle. Got the orchid Panatum Baltic Blue that I found from the Trending Tropicals selection. And believe it or not, I found this plant at Lowe's and it was inputted wrong, so it only rang up as 20 cents. About like 3 of them, and gave 2 away to my friends. And got a Calathea macleana. Really love calatheas, but the thing is they're really hard. It's so beautiful though. I think this one has to be my favorite calathea. It's definitely one that I keep trying on. And then a aglaonema. I believe this one's called Osaka from what I've seen online. I really like the silver and then the light green on the inside. It's typically my aesthetic. I like dark green foliage with silver and kind of like silvery or like green, you know, pops of color. Definitely my aesthetic. These pots are from, well, the middle one is from Lowe's, and then the outside ones I found at Marshalls. And I really like them because they're kind of like a matte white. You have just a little bit of interest, but it keeps the focal point on the plants. And then on the dining table, I got this one from Lowe's as well. It came in this polka dotted pot. I think it's a Peperomia Napoleon Nights. It's like really cute. It has button leaves and again that silver with a dark green veining. So again, like totally my aesthetic. And the stems are kind of this pinkish color. It's just so cute. I'm typically not a fan of like polka dots, but I thought it would go good with like the interior design we have going on. So we have like kind of earthy colors, browns, clay, etc. So I don't know. I guess I kind of like it after all, just because it goes with how we've decorated the place. And then I have a little bamboo shelf here by our dining area. So that's the front entrance. Dining table, got from Ashley Furniture, but like the table is scratching up so bad. And then here's the bamboo shelf. That's my Silverado at the bottom. It was this big lush plant and then it got root rot. So this is kind of a piece that I'm trying to save, but I don't know. It's been like, it's gotten root rot like 3 times. And then a Maranta Lucanera. And then a piece of golden Madonna aglaonema, which also is a plant I was trying to save but keeps getting root rot. And then I kind of have some calatheas tucked in here with this honeycomb rock my father-in-law gave me. It's really interesting. I have no idea what it is, but I love it. It looks like a honeycomb, and I just really like natural things like plants and rocks. And then so here's a Calathea rattlesnake, which is one of the easier calatheas. I actually was able to keep this one alive for quite a while, but you know, my cat really likes to eat it. I'd like sit on the table and just kind of stretch out and nibble on it, which is okay. Like, I don't know, I figure if they're gonna chew on anything, it might as well be like a pet safe plant, so I'll allow it. And then I have another Macleana back here. It's just one of those plants that I just keep buying even if I kill it. I'm hoping it stays alive. I don't want to keep purchasing it. And then I have a Peperomia Silver Frost up here that I also got from Lowe's. And it's in this pot that it came with. I thought about spray painting it. I still might. I'm really more of like a matte white and matte black person because I feel like the shininess of the pot, like it draws the eye versus I want the focal point to be on the plant. You know what I mean? So if this was more like matte, like you wouldn't be your eye wouldn't be drawn to like that shininess. And I don't know, I just think it looks better. So I might spray paint it. Such a pretty plant. I just can't stop looking at it. It's so pretty. Again with that silver and then like the dark veining. Again, that's my thing. Anything like that. I found this aglaonema at one of the plant stores that I frequent, and it's really big. It's in this big pot, and you can kind of see the nursery pot underneath. But I was hoping I'd get away with it because it's just so big, you know, that you wouldn't really see it. I have no idea what specific type this is, but it's really pretty. Oh my gosh, the leaves just kind of look pixelated, and then I really love how it has like, you know, light green, the medium green, and dark green, just like speckled, a little camouflage or pixelated looking. It's just really visually interesting and such an underrated plant. I love aglaonema, and I actually, it's one of my OG plants, my aglaonema tigris, and I've actually divided this. It could have been a lot bigger, and then it did struggle a lot because we moved, and then of course like my cats took a chunk, and I'll just like, if they ever eat anything, I'll cut it out, and that way I can kind of keep an eye on whether they're eating things or not. And so, you know, because this plant's not good for them, it's definitely not gonna, you know, kill your cat or anything. Like my cats are fine, and I do pay attention and I watch them, and you know, they're fine. The thing about toxicity is, from what I've learned, it's a spectrum, and so it goes from like, you know, on the far end you have your deadly plants, which I will never buy. I will never buy a deadly plant for my cats. And then you also have plants that might just give them a slight tummy ache. So this part is just like one of my ways that I keep an eye out for like what's going on and if they're getting into anything. So if I see any like new bite marks, you know, I would know like, you know, that they got to it again. And then we have a green Peperomia obtusifolia. I had a variegated one, but I don't know. Sometimes just plain green, you know, just looks so nice. Sometimes just that basicness of a plant. I don't know. I don't want everything to be variegated. I really do like just solid green plants sometimes, and it's also called the baby rubber plant, and it's just shiny and it has thick foliage and it's just so pretty. And then I do gotta clean this up, some soil spilled because my cats like to get up on this sometimes and run across. But you know, I also have some sprays that I make. So like this one's for my couch, and it's basically like a no cat scratch blend. So cats don't like citrus, and so it has like lemon, essential oil in there, among other things, peppermint as well, and then one for my plants. And so I'll spray it on the plant, and it basically makes it like so that it tastes bitter and that they don't want to eat it. And so that was one of my prevention methods, and it really did work. So I just got to be more on top of it if I notice they're doing stuff. And then right here I have a Norfolk pine. I got it for Christmas like 2 years ago, and it's still alive. I have it in this plant pot I got from Amazon from this company called Potty, and I just love it. It's totally my taste because it has matte black but with like a hint of gold, and it kind of like it looks like petals, you know, the way the top of the pot is shaped, and then it has a bamboo saucer. So we really are going for our interior design, I like white and black, but like a matte black with like hints of gold and wood. And so that's kind of just the goal, you know, like got these marble coasters, just like natural materials too, with like gold details. Here's my cat, my baby. Oh, yes. This baby. What's he doing? Alright, So over here on this opposite side of our entertainment center, which we've made out of a makeshift antique chest, and then have to have a big TV. We're huge into video games here and just Netflix, anime, sci-fi, stuff like that. So having a large TV was definitely a must. She looks so funny. Alright, so this is a new pepperoni I got actually from the grocery store at H-E-B, and I really like this variegated version better, because the one that I had, it was like more, it had like a creamy, like brighter cream color variegation, versus this one's more like green on green, and I like it a lot more. It's gorgeous, honestly. Also, like, severely underrated. Like, every leaf is different. The one I'm kind of blocking the light. You know, like this one has a lot of like dots. This one's more like overall light green with like dark green dots. You know, I don't know. It's just really gorgeous. And again, this pot is from Amazon, from Potty, P-O-T-E-Y. And then I have this little corner right here. Hold on, let me back up and pan. So this is really the focal point, you know. So here's the living room and the couch. And then here's the big focal point of just the living room. You know, and this is where I spend my time, and it's just so pretty. Got my cats and my plants, and it's just joy. So cute. That's Cloud. Hi, Cloud. And then we have Fenrir. For Fenrir, the wolf, you know, in mythology. And also, she's really friendly. She loves strangers. She loves meeting people. So it's kind of like a mix between friendly and Fenrir. And she's wild. Like, she likes to do parkour. We don't know that outfit. I think I hope. Alright. So going back to this really, oh my gosh, it's my favorite. So I got these Soltec lights, and one was a birthday gift from my mom and my brother. And then I bought the other one. And then I also have these Barina LED light strips. They don't exactly sit flat, and I was hoping that the shelves would have more space. In the future I might want something with like adjustable shelves. Just because some things, like I wish they had more space to go up. Like at least with this bookcase in the middle from IKEA. I mean, everything here is from IKEA, these shelves. The bookcase is, you know, you can move the shelf, so it's customizable to a point, except like this middle shelf is like permanent. You can't move that like middle shelf, but then everything else can be moved around. And so, moving back, I have a Ficus altissima, which is like somehow really difficult. I don't know about your experience, but this plant is just fussy, and I had to move one outside, and I think they're just meant to be outside or just have really bright light. So it's like directly under my Soltec Solutions supplying light, and it's finally coming back. It lost all of its leaves, and now it's deciding it wants to live again. So it decided to die on me. This is another OG plant. It's a Ficus elastica tenuti, also called the rubber tree, and it's variegated. And this one's been my favorite since like day one because the leaves look like watercolor, like a watercolor painting, and it's just so pretty. Look at all that white. And it did struggle a little bit when we moved, you know. And then it has a leaf that's kind of like funny looking. Well, maybe it grew out. I don't see it now. Well, when it was small, it looked kind of funny. But it's finally putting out a lot of new growth because I actually had snapped off the top by accident during the move, and it was kind of dormant for a while. And it's just been a journey. When I first got it, I swear the plant was like this big, you know, right here. And then as they grow taller, the bottom leaves will fall off. So it doesn't even have leaves there where it first started anymore. And now it's like getting pretty tall. So down here is one of my favorite spaces. I try to move things around a lot until I like the way things are situated. And of course, because, you know, things are always changing in plant care. Things die, or you buy new things, or things get bigger, you know, things need to get moved around. So it's definitely like, you know, an ever-changing process, which has been kind of really enlightening, and it's helped me embrace change and adapt in my own life more often. And it's so crazy how it's like impacted me that way. So down here I have a bunch of Peperomia and Aglaonema, my two favorite genuses. So we have also Syndapsis. That's also one of my favorite genuses. So I have a Syndapsis pictus exotica. And so these ones typically have bigger leaves and they're quite silvery. Hold on, trying to focus. So pretty. This is a bunch of cuttings I had for my other plants. Peperomia trinervis. I struggled with this plant a little bit, and then I decided to just bunch it underneath a bunch of other plants, assuming it's an understory plant, and I figured all the other plants would help kind of keep it warm and raise the general humidity level of this area. You know, bunching plants together, you know, that was my idea. And then this is my second Aglaonema frozen. The first one I got off of Etsy Guide. The second one, this one, I got from a website called Jordan's Jungle, and it was kind of pricey. I think I paid like $70, but it was really full looking and gorgeous. And of course, you know, as it acclimated to my space, it lost a bunch of leaves, but at the end of the day, it still had new growth coming in and enough foliage. Can you imagine that this was like fuller and prettier, you know? Back there. This middle stalk, it lost all of its leaves, and I don't know if it's gonna come back, but it came with like 3 stalks, which was pretty awesome. Because the one that I got from Etsy was only 1, and then it died. So. Alright, so this one is a Aglaonema Golden Madonna. Look at those leaves, oh my gosh. So you have the green, the silver, and kind of like a neon yellow / green. Oh, it's just really pretty. It kind of looks like zebra stripes, and again, just all the things I love in a plant. That dark green with silver and like, you know, like neon colors as well. And then this was something I found on Etsy as well. This is an Aglaonema peacock. And this one has died back and come back. It was only 1 leaf. And then it grew another, and then it died, and then it was 1 leaf again. Then finally, it's kind of just, you know, found a homeostasis. And now it's gonna have 3 leaves. The 3rd leaf is gonna unfurl, hopefully soon. Back here, I bought this plant. I thought it was a Peperomia turboensis. It's from Hertz Gardens, and hold on, I'm struggling. And I was trying to show off the best leaf. I think the best leaf is this one. Yeah. So it was called Peperomia Turbo, and then the tag said Turboensis. But this does not look like a Peperomia Turboensis because I have one, and it's kind of struggling. Peperomias have really small and shallow roots. It was in a bigger pot, and I decided to downsize it just because I don't like to be overwatered. And I'm hoping that like having it in this group of plants will help it. And then here we have a Peperomia argyrius, I believe, or watermelon Peperomia. And it just, again, it has that silver, really shiny, gorgeous in the light. I've killed that plant 3 to 4 times. Watermelon Peperomia, it's been a bit of a struggle. but I'm hoping, you know, that it's something that I'll be able to keep alive. Because I kind of try to stick by the rule, like, if I kill something 3 times, then I'm done. If I really like it, up to 5. That's rare. And then a aglaonema chocolate. So gorgeous. These little red veins it has, and then it has like a burgundy underside. And it, for me, fills the need for a Calathea ornata. But I've killed a lot of Calathea ornatas, and so I was like, well, if I get a aglaonema chocolate, you know, it gives me that same vibe with that little striping and underleaf colors. And then back there we have a aluminum peperomia. I just bought this one just to buy it. Just to have another type of peperomia. And then a aglaonema bamboo. It has really thin leaves and like a yellow irrigation going down the middle, like veining. Really pretty. Found that one at Lowe's. Here, philodendron micans, velvety leaves. Here's the shelf. Really like crystals, rocks, plants, anything natural. I got this one recently. It's a Senecio microglossus or wax ivy. It's not actually an ivy plant, which I kind of made sure of because every video I've seen with people talking about ivy, they always complain about how like their spider mite magnets, they just get pests. So I never wanted to buy an ivy, you know, but this looks like an ivy, but is not. It's very waxy, like kind of succulent-y. So definitely a good dupe. This plant is a Hoya obovata splash. When I got this plant, it was only 3 leaves, believe it or not. And now it's just put out so much new growth. It looks amazing. I was not expecting it to just take off, but it's just really grown this year. It's so gorgeous. I had a Monstera adansonii back there, the wide form, but I put it on my coffee table and somebody mowed it down. One of the cats. So maybe it'll come back, but it's okay if it doesn't because I have 2 others. So plus that adansonii, like, you know, is really coming down in price, so I don't think it's too big of a deal. And then on this top shelf, kind of have a bunch of things. I don't really want to pull things out, but we have a Hoya Crimson Queen, a Peperomia Hope. It's a propagation I have from my mother plant, Hoya Publicalyx, right here. Back there was a Ficus Audrey, and we'll see if it comes back. I don't know, because like the Altissima did. I'm not sure about that one. Philodendron Birkin. This one died back and came back, so I'm proud of that. What was back there was a Syngonium 3 Kings, but I burned it. And also, Syngoniums are thirsty. You know, I've been watering my plants every 2 weeks, and when it comes to Syngoniums, they definitely need like once a week in my conditions. You know, Syngonium albo. And this one, it was putting out a bunch of like really white leaves and they just kept dying. So I'm hoping, you know, it'll grow more balanced. Let's see. You know, like this new leaf, like that looks all white again. I got this one off of Etsy as well, and it's just putting out all white. Not really a good thing. Got this one from Lowe's. It's a Ficus triangularis variegata. I love the shape. This one can be dramatic. You can like, you know, lose all its leaves, but if you just take care of it, like they'll grow back, you know? So it's nothing to be worried about from my experiences. And then a Monstera Adansonii. Epipremnum pinatum CB Blue. I had a big one. When I first started my collection, I got really lucky 2 years ago and found a large Cebu Blue at Lowe's for $20, and it got so big, but then it got root rot and it died back. So, you know, que será, será. Here I have a Scindapsus tubii. Hold on, I gotta move myself in my stool. This is I'm on my 3rd and 4th plant. I had bought 2 Scindapsus tubii when I first found them at Lowe's, and they died. And so I decided to try again, and so I bought 2 again. And the next batch has been doing really well. You know, sometimes things are out of your control. I feel like sometimes when you bring things from a big box store, like they're dead before you even know it. I don't know. That's just life, you know? Some plants just die prematurely, and sometimes you just need to try again, and you'll find that you'll have better luck maybe. Like, this one's doing just fine, and it's even starting to trail down now. And then we have a Scindapsus argyrius. Again, I love that dark green with the silver flecking, and it is starting to trail down as well, but it's kind of lengthy. This was growing before I got this extra light right here off of Amazon, and it's a clamp light. I made sure not to get anything that was like USB plug-in. This desktop light, just to make sure it was better quality. And then this is a new plant. I'm actually, believe it or not, I'm a pothos killer. I do not do well with pothos, but I decided I would give this one a try. It's again part of the Trending Tropicals collection, and so far so good. So I really like it. It's the Global Green Pothos, I believe, and I spray painted the Trending Tropicals pot. I had gotten some matte black and matte white spray paint, so you know, you can always change things up. I'm even eyeing, this is spray paint that looks like stone, you know, so that would be really cool. So yeah, you know, just change up a pot if you don't like it. Alright, so this is my Scindapsus exotica, and I paid a lot of money to get this one big. I knew I wanted a big specimen, and so I got like an 8-inch off of Etsy. You know, it's gorgeous. It's one of my favorite plants, and some of the leaves have this really interesting variegation. Like, look at this leaf. It looks different than everything else compared to, like, you know, this one. This one looks more typical for an exotica versus this one. What is that speckly? And I wonder if it's like variegation or if it's just a natural, like if it's part of the natural look, because it looks so different to me, you know? And I really like that part of the plant. So. Alright, philodendron lemon lime. Further scale down. Really pretty. A nice change of color, you know? It's nice to have some variety. So while I do love dark green plants, you know, to help accentuate plants, it's nice to have things that contrast them. Another philodendron lichens. And then moving back to my shelf here, I put all my favorite plants in this section because this is just the main focal point, you know. Alright, so back here I have my Hoya Hindu rope, another one that I got really lucky with. I actually found this one the same time I found that Cebu Blue at Lowe's. is $20 for like a 6-inch pot, and it's getting pretty long. I've been growing it out. And I just kind of tuck the tendrils, whatever you want to call them. But it's one of my favorites. I'm hoping to find another large Hindu rope. I do want to buy it large. I don't want to buy a small one. So I'm just waiting till I find one. And then a Hoya macrophylla albumagranata, but this has now been reclassified as Hoya latifolia. So it's no longer macrophylla, it's latifolia. From what everybody's saying. Love the glossy leaves. It's kind of like crinkled too, and it's just so glossy. And then the white edges are just such a nice accent. This is my Peperomia turboensis. It's one that I've struggled with. This is my second one. I killed the first one. I was able to keep it alive for a while, but you know, it just gave up on me. And it's doing good. It's doing better. The plant was eaten by one of the cats. It's gorgeous because it has that silvery color all throughout the leaf, but with like a dark veining. Again, like that is my favorite thing. What can I say? I like silver and dark green and just velvet. I have another Ficus elastica taniki just growing here. And then we have a ruby. It basically has like more of a pink and red coloring than sun stressing that it gets compared to the taniki. So it's really pretty. This is just a kalanchoe I have here. I'm gonna put something else here, especially because I just bought more plants. So I'm definitely making this like my favorite section, and so that's gonna be moving out. That's just kind of been there. Ceropegia woodii variegata, or string of hearts plant, the variegated version. And this used to be much bigger, and then it died back, and then I was able to keep one strand alive, and I've just been cutting it and trying to add it back in. So it's been a struggle, but I'm happy that I didn't completely kill it. So it is what it is. And string of hearts can grow pretty fast, and so you just need to give it a bunch of light. Alocasia silver dragon. I got this from my local plant store, and basically I had this plant. This is my second one. I want to try it again, you know, so I'm hoping it's gonna stay within the bounds of my rule, because it's like after the third time I'm done. And so this is my second plant, and I'm hoping this will be the last plant and I won't have to try again. But it's looking pretty happy. It just like the other day it dried out a lot, and it actually lost some lower leaves, but there's some new growth coming in, and so I would say just like don't let it dry out too much, because I lost 2 leaves because it got so thirsty and it was looking so droopy, like as dramatic as a Fittonia. And so I gave it a really good soaking, and it's just doing like it's perked back up. So yeah, I love it. Alright, so this is one of my unicorn plants, a Philodendron melanochrysum. And I just never thought I would own this anytime soon. I've been really patient. You know, I decided when it came to like more rare plants that I would wait until I found them locally, and that they were healthy, and that it wasn't too expensive, that I could afford it. And you know, my local plant shop had it. They had a Equigenera section, actually. They had a special section, and you know, this was there. And this was the healthiest specimen. Like, of course I had to get the best looking one. And then this is a pot I got from the grocery store, and I just spray painted it matte white. And I just love the way it looks now that I spray painted it, you know. And just those dark velvety green leaves. Gorgeous. So this is 1 out of 2 of my unicorn plants, because definitely want to take my time, you know, be smart about it. But I've been in a really good place financially, and I was like, yeah, I can spend that type of money. It was $97, and I feel like it's pretty big, because like you can see stuff sold on like Etsy or online, and it's like it could be $100 and it would be smaller than this, you know. But it already has like new growth coming in. It has 1, 2, 3, 4 leaves, and then it has a new growth that'll form right there. So I don't know, I thought it was a good deal. You know, this is another plant of mine that I've had for a long while. This is a Hoya Crimson Queen, and it had like really beautiful all white strands, but you know, slowly died off. But I feel like this one has a decent amount of variegation. I love it when it puts out some white leaves every now and then. Maybe I have some there, you know, and it gets enough light, so you know, it sustains itself for a long time. You know, I barely had some white leaves die off, and it had been there for a while. Alright, so over here, you know, it's not as amazing, but I really do love this Peperomia Hope. You know, it has these button succulent-y leaves. They're just so thick, you know. And then there's light veining, you can see. It has like a lighter green. And it's starting to trail down. It's so pretty. It's just adorable. This is definitely something that I want to grow big and just hang one day. So one day this will be in the new spot. And then have a philodendron Birkin. So pretty. I got this from an Etsy seller in Texas, so it's nice that it was local. So pretty. The more light you give it, the more variegated it becomes, so I hear. So back there, I just have a Synapsis argyris propagation, a regular white butterfly syngonium, and then, hold on, gotta move my stool again. Okay. So another Ficus triangularis. This was actually the first one I bought. And it's lost its leaves several times and they just come back. So you just gotta be patient, you know. Hoya Crimson Princess. This new strand that's coming out, it's so beautifully variegated. That yellow creamy color with the pink. Especially since it's getting some sun stressing from the plant light, like there's some pink coming out. Moving on. Alright, so here's this shelf. Geez, the camera does not want to focus lately. There we go. Alright, so we have a celestite geode. Crap, it's been so long. We have smoky quartz, and then ametrine. It's amethyst and citrine in that ball. A danburite little wand, calcite, and then a pink calcite little wand, and then this little tower in the back is also pink calcite. It's gorgeous. I love it. And a, what is it called? A phantom quartz. And you can see like something inside, like a ghostly figure of it. I wonder if you can see that. I used to wear this around my neck. This was my favorite piece. It's gorgeous. This calcite, I love how it has like pink, has like a gold piece, and then some blue, you know. Pink, white, and blue. I love that. Pink and blue are my favorite colors. Alright, back to the plants. Alright, so we have a Ceropegia woodii again. It's String of Hearts, regular, green version. This one I've had for a very long time. I've cut it a lot. It's gotten so long, you know. That's why I'm saying, like, these plants grow really well if you just give them the light that they need. Like, it's wanting to touch the floor again. I can't tell you, like, how many times I've trimmed it and it's still gotten to that length. Like, such a good plant. And this one back here is actually a propagation from that mother plant. And I just kind of laid it over the pistils just to kind of like intermesh everything, you know, get things interacting with each other, make it more cohesive. I kind of like that. You know, it's kind of drawn over the pistils like that. And then I also have a peperomia that's like peeking from the side that I had going up back there. I'll show you in a bit. Alright, so Hoya australis Lisa is looking very red from the sun stressing from the plant light. The Barina LEDs that you can find on Amazon. Dischidia ovata, a watermelon dischidia. I got this as a really small plant. I've been just trying to chop it as it grows and stick the strands back in the soil. And then back there, I have a peperomia stilt. I forget. Usually really good about names. Another Micans. And that's our shelf. And then down here, I have a syndronium. I don't know which variety this is. It's pink. Aglonema Osaka again, but it's a very small piece from the mother plant that I got going. Philodendron Silver Sword. So pretty. Look at this silvery leaf. One of my favorite plants. And then another peperomia. I think that one's Bella. I had a Philodendron Grantianum here. Oh my god. It has not been successful. And then a Monstera Siltepecana. Those things grow fast, but it struggled and died back. But it's already coming back again. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've neglected this plant, and then it just still grows like crazy. Aglonema bamboo again. Finally, getting to this little corner over here. Cat box. Plants on top. Burgundy rubber tree. In this big pot. I really do try to think about the way things are laid out. And, you know, it's nice to kind of have things tapered off. Like everything in the back be higher than what's in the front. That way you get a clear view of everything, you know? So, I bought these bamboo plant stands, the Zerla, off of Amazon. Comes in a pack of 2, and I've bought like it 2 to 3 times now. Just a classic. I got this as a graduation present. It's kind of struggling right now, but I don't know. I think I might have to spray it down just to be sure, but this new leaf right here looks okay. It just needs to harden off. But the old growth is kind of struggling. I don't know. Maybe I overwatered it. Who knows? I'll figure it out. Monstera Adansonii wide form. And I have this clipped to a bamboo stick. Another fast grower. Aglonema Grey Ghost. Has really pale silvery leaves. It's like a light yellow in the middle. I had another one over there because this one I got off Etsy, and then I saw that Lowe's was offering it, and I couldn't pass that up because it was only like, you know, 15-20 bucks for something that I thought was pretty uncommon up to this point. I believe this is a Aglaonema White Rain, and it was so big, and I just fell in love with it, so I had to bring it home. Maranta Lucanero Lemon Lime again. Sansevieria Moonshine in this little dark corner. You know, get some very, very dappled light. And then I have this Samurai Sansevieria in this little pot by my fiance's desk. Just for him, something easy. Alright. So, have a bunch of plants I like to hang by our window. Hold on. Again, another Ficus elastica Taniki. And then to the left, I have another Scindapsus exotica. To the right of that, another Scindapsus trubii. A Philodendron Brazil. Again, one of my older plants. It's really beautiful, full. I've cut it a little bit. And then a Philodendron Hederaceum, or a Hartley Philodendron. Just a green variety, which has also grown a lot, really fast. Behind the couch, I have a Fiddly Fig. Again, one of my original plants. It needs a pot. It's struggled, but it's finally doing better. You know, a lot of things struggled in the move, you know, but it's looking okay. And it's going to be okay. Alright, and then another Ficus elastica altissima. I bought this one pretty large, and when it first came in, it was gorgeous, you know, but it lost all of its leaves, and then it's finally putting out new growth. It had leaves going all up the stem, and then they all proceeded to fall off. I find altissima to be kind of moody, you know, but that's pretty much most of the collection. I have a few things in the kitchen. Quick view in the kitchen. I have a Maranta prayer plant, just a regular variety. I forget what this one's called, like Bunny Tricks, common name or something like that. Of course, I have some, you know, reusable cloths with plant leaves on them. A Cebu Blue and a struggling pitcher plant. And then, oh my gosh. So this is a Aglaonema Peacock. I got a bigger one of this. And I'm just in love with it. I mean, I've said it a million times, that dark green with the silver, and then it has like a neon green, and just kind of how it has the speckling. It's like spotted. It's so visually interesting and different. I love it. You know, it's not striped, it's like polka dotted, but I don't know, not exactly polka dots. Got some propagations here. Just a few things. Hanging above the sink, I recently bought another Scindapsus Pictus Argyrius. I just can't help myself with this plant. You know, I could buy it a million times. You know, it's just gorgeous. I'd rather have a lot of the same plant I'm in love with than a big variety of plants. I want things that just really visually and emotionally hit me, you know. Okay, so these are the new plants that I bought recently. And so this is a Alocasia Hilo Beauty. So pretty. It has like that neon splotching. And the leaves look a little velvety, but it's not quite velvety. Now what a Swedish? I don't know. This was a recent purchase from this last week. And then my second unicorn plant, a Anthurium crystallinum. And it's sitting here because I literally just bought them. This is also something that I spent money on. It was like $100, but again, I was in a position where I could afford it. Some people spend money on clothes, food, cars, tech, you know. I throw my money at plants and I can afford it, so it's something that I do for myself. Look at this leaf. It's so big. And it has 4 leaves. This new one right here. And then a little growth point. And I think for like $100, it's better to buy from someone local and know that the plant has, you know, been healthy, it's acclimated, beautiful, you know, versus shipping maybe internationally. I just figure it's better to get a plant from a local seller that looks healthy than to order online and take my chances. So another reason why I've been waiting, because you know, you don't want to go wrong when you spend this type of money on a plant. But you know, it's a work of art. It's like buying art. Almost forgot this Aglaonema silver stripe I have in the kitchen. Just a quick sneak peek in the restroom. Again, another Maranta in a Trending Tropicals pot. I spray painted matte white. Pothos, Aglaonema, Philodendron Brazil, Calancho, Sansevieria Moonshine, some sacrificial ZZs up here above the cabinets, just to make the place look nice. A plant diffuser from Bath & Body. I've always wanted to do a plant tour. With this hobby, it has different tastes and aesthetics, much like with anything. And so this is what plant life looks for me, the type of plants that I enjoy, you know, in my aesthetic. And I definitely have over 100 plants, but I do have some goals. I don't want to be over 150. It's definitely just made our living situation just feel so much more like alive. Which is funny because we have all these living plants, but when we had our space before and we had all our things, yes, it was our space and it had our belongings, but it wasn't until the plants joined our living space that it started to feel like a home. It definitely just adds this coziness that wasn't there before. One day I decided that I was gonna buy a plant for my house, and I would only buy one plant. And if I could keep this plant alive, I would buy a second plant and then a third plant, right? And just form a habit. And that's how I would recommend anybody get started, you know, because I used to think that I had a black thumb and that I couldn't keep anything alive. And you really just, you start with one and you make a habit. I put in my calendar, you know, once a week. I'm gonna water this plant once a week. And every week I would, and it stayed alive, you know, and then I bought a second one and a third one. Just kind of snowballed, and now we are at 100 plus. I gotta count again, you know, because things die. You know, and other plants, you divide them, and they live. But yeah, it just kind of hit me all of a sudden, and I just went a little crazy for them, to be honest. And I mean, what's not to love? You know, I feel like I have this connection to the world in a way from taking care of my plants. Especially in a time where everything can feel quite overwhelming, especially with climate change. It, in a way, makes me feel like the small things I do in my everyday life will help, you know, creating my own indoor jungle. It's one thing science into the world, and I just love it. I would recommend anybody try it. I really do like getting into the science of things. When I really got into the hobbies, I just dug into a bunch of scientific articles. You know, SciShow on YouTube has a bunch of really cool videos about the science of plants. You know, and they have been shown to help people feel better. In a hospital setting, people who had plants recovered faster, they had less pain, they felt better, they left the hospital sooner. You know, and just that one study alone, I feel like says so much about how, you know, plants are really something that we need to be connected to and have a relationship with. Especially since there was this one study that showed that areas with more plants in urban areas, there was less crime. People were less violent. It helps people with any mentally challenging tasks by taking a break. They can either just sit there or they can look at a plant. And when they looked at a plant, it almost like re-energizes them. So it helped people with like mentally difficult tasks and mental fatigue be able to push forward. So, you know, it's great for the office setting too. I mean, what else is there? There's just like so much. Customer service, right? There was this study done where they had either like a vase, a painting, like might have been a painting. I think it was a vase, nothing, or a plant. And when there was a plant, people had the perception that the quality of customer service was higher. So people just think, I guess, you know, if you put a plant in a business, that it's just better. You have better customer service, you know, so that's a strategy businesses can and should use, you know, and it just makes a space feel more luxurious